A lot of sellers that come to me thinking their images look good, the looks don't always get the clicks. And in this, I'm gonna explain what I have learned after doing over 10,000 tests across thousands of listings and being able to map out what psychology really does convert, what systems can you use, and how to actually implement those into your Amazon store to make more money. These aren't just pretty pictures. What we put on these images changes the amount of money that we make. And I like to consider myself a picture dealer. As a picture dealer, I understand the importance behind the images that we use in our funnel. How we can master the psychology in order to get the highest return on our product, so we can position it from a premium position, or we can position it the best in the market, and be able to have the highest click-through and relevancy from a keyword level in order to come in and scale. If you keep the mindset that you're a picture dealer as you go into Amazon, it's gonna help you tremendously throughout your journey. And it's funny to me when people are trying to scale on Amazon and they don't focus on the pictures. They focus only on the SEO or only on PPC. That is not going to drive the relevancy from your customer. If I had to conceptualize the importance behind each part of Amazon's algorithm, I would put click-through and conversion at, there is other variables, but essentially your photos, at probably 60 to maybe even 70% of the battle. Once you can have that fully optimized, everything else comes into conjunction. Of course, in Amazon, it's a flywheel. There's so many elements inside the algorithm that are important to master. We have 180-day sales volume. We have your rankings. We have how much PPC are you spending? What's your SEO positioning? All these different variables come together. And when you properly build your store to have a strategy that synchronizes everything, is when you really scale. So jumping in, I want to focus in this video on the most and highest converting product images that we've created, the different concepts that we've used that we have seen worked well across the over 10,000 different tests that I've done over my career in Amazon. So I'm gonna have y'all put on your picture dealer glasses. Let's jump in. One of the main things that I use to drive more clicks in the funnel is pretty obvious to me. Apparently it's not obvious to all the sellers. That is putting a box in your main image that calls out the keywords that you're trying to target. When you do that and a consumer is searching those keywords, there is a higher probability that they will click your listing in order to decide if they want to purchase it. If you have a good listing, getting that click is a majority of the battle. When you have a higher click-through and a higher conversion, your relevance inside of Amazon increases. And when you have an increased relevancy in a relevancy-based algorithm, and you can support that with sales volume, you will start indexing into Amazon, which is very important because that's where we make the majority of our money. So looking at these examples, you can see that we had a standing desk converter, and this product is pretty boring for the most part. There isn't anything exciting about it. And what we have done is put a box behind it and call it out what exactly it was. And that has increased the conversions and click-through substantially. We have another one, non-slip, similar product inside the niche. People were looking for these booster seats that were non-slip. It was a main pain point that people are also looking for too. And when we incorporated this into our marketing, we were able to get an increase in the click-through rate. We do want to keep in mind that technically incorporating a lot of these different elements is against Amazon's terms of service. It is a gray area, yet everybody and their mother, I would say, grandmother, aunt, uncle, any of them are all doing it. Everybody's doing it. So if you can't beat them, might as well join them, because this is how you really become hyper relevant in the algorithm. And there's a lot of tricks that you can do with changing positioning of the products and how the graphics are that allow you to get through Amazon's check, which is great. From a main image standpoint, that's the easiest thing that you can do. Then we want to move into the actual funnel. So what I like to do is a multi-use call out, and a multi-use call out can show multiple things at once. So in the case of this product, we have the ability to sit down as well as stand up at the same time. This is a great way to show the user multiple concepts in one image, especially pointing at the pain points that could be happening. Something similar is a hot or cold drink. So this product, you are able to enjoy in a hot coffee, or you can also enjoy it in an iced coffee. And showing that from both angles is a great way to increase your conversions and consumers be able to see both things at once. I like this a lot when we use colors. So something like this, if it was cold with an ice and then hot with fire shows a lot more contrast, and that will get the consumer to get more into actually feeling this. Yet these are still great concepts showing it. Moving to some other concepts that we have used in order to get more click-through and conversion rate. You can see here, this is a photo frame. At the top of it is 32 gigabyte memory, which was really important in the niche. A lot of people were selling 16 gigabytes. So we put 32 at the top. We put it as a ribbon. We also added a wreath because it was Christmas time. And these really helped create that disruption where people would come in and click on the funnel because they knew some unique selling points without even having to go into the listing. Think about yourself as an Amazon consumer. So when I think about myself, I was searching for jaw gum on Amazon. So let's go take a look and see the niche. When we come here, we can see we have Gym gum, we have Orca gum, jawline gum. Really, when I am looking here, I am looking specifically, for my mind, is something for my jaw. So trying to find that word jaw is really good. So I'm attracted to jawline. So they have that here. As a user like Orca jawline gum, jawline isn't really the focal point. So I would probably not click that one right off the bat. And my eye is honestly going there last. Just personally, I don't know how y'all experience it. And the data is what's gonna tell us what's important, but train your jaw. Okay, now you're getting me. Like, I kinda wanna train my jaw, but that green color isn't really pulling me in. So there's different colors that we can use that's gonna call out and disrupt. So like when we look in this niche, almost everything is green. So imagine if they put train your jaw, or just put jaw line with red, really calling it out, right? Doing something like that, based on my experience, is going to make a big difference when people are searching this specific keyword in order to purchase it. I don't see very many people taking advantage of it. And in fact, I thought about launching some gum into this niche, Alpha Chew Gum, jaw defining gum. This is definitely one of those more markety niches, but the margins are definitely large, 19 bucks for a pack. Good product idea, I think, if you are very good with supplements. Moving into some more image concepts that we use. Even this one is, you could use it as a secondary image or as a main image. Inside the makeup niche, there is a product that we want to be able to explain more to the consumer than just what meets the eye. Right, we have some things like color and conceal, which is what people are looking for. The specific color. Sometimes we'll add even more different colors. So you can see like we offer 6 or 7 different colors from a variant perspective. But on this one, you can see here that it's blonde. We tried to put a blonde color, and we are putting cream to powder hair concealer, which is a keyword in the niche. So people know very clearly what it is. And the same thing here with color fibers. So this product, very clearly you understand this is color fibers, what the purpose of the product is, root coverage and density boosters. So this gives us an advantage when we look inside the niche, because most of our competitors are very bland. They're very basic, and there's nothing in there that's really differentiating these products to their, you know, or explaining, I guess, the products. And it's super, like, humans are very simple. Their brains simple, but also, I guess I shouldn't say they're simple. They're very complex. But the things that you can present to them, the people do enjoy the simplicity behind things, and it's as small as giving them the answer that they are looking for, even if it isn't a phrase like color fibers. Another concept that we use that really helps increase click-through and conversion is just showing everything. Like putting it all out there. Sometimes people want to see a bunch of stuff, and this really depends on the niche. But for this product, for instance, this was a product we were working on, and we wanted to show everything. We sold gloves, we sold containers, the cord, and by putting everything inside the listing, we were able to increase the click-through and conversion. And as we keep going, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier, we can show variations. So we can see in this product, we have 4 different colors that we're marketing, or 5 different colors, and we show all those colors. So right off the bat, the consumer knows that there's all these different options of colors that they can click into when they click on our listing, and then they can purchase it. Now this helps in a few different strategies too. Like, so sometimes you can market, you know, one color, and then the other colors you can put a little bit higher in terms of pricing if you want to get a few extra bucks from your customers. And the more you can do, the better you will end up performing. Now, the biggest thing that I like to remind our clients, and that I use when I'm developing these, is that the majority of our traffic is coming from mobile. And we really want to test that on our mobile phone and understand, can I even read this? Like, for instance, this text. This text is too small for me to really read. So although they're trying to apply the concepts, it's not really going to hit the mark. And in my opinion, this isn't going to really fly. So being able to understand To make things big, large enough to a way that it can be consumed in text and fonts that people resonate with is going to be an important part of this. And that's why with our team, we have a whole set that we have of 20 different styles of angles. And from there, we have different fonts and colors and colorways that we use. That way, we're always pinpointing to the best of our patterns that we have seen across our expertise in over the 50 brands that we've scaled. And that way, we're able to do this at a much more effective rate. Another great way is just adding color and changing colors around. And you can see the NC-D2, it really sticks out and it makes it very easy to see, very easy to call out if that's like a keyword that people are actually searching for in the Search Query Performance Report. We can definitely include that, and it's gonna make a big difference for that keyword when we're trying to rank it. One of the things that I try to keep in mind, if the consumer has to squint, you're losing customers. You want to make sure that the consumer can read very easily, understand exactly what's going on, and not have to question it. I try to do a 3-second rule. If I look at an image, I don't understand it within 3 seconds, I toss that thing out. Like, it's obviously not going to work. And ideally, you want it to be faster. So if you design something, send it over to a friend, send it over to a colleague, ask them what they think within the first 3 seconds. And then from there, you'll be able to continue to optimize and get better and better. The big thing, I actually have this tattooed on my back, 1% better every day. So a little bit about me. I've been sober for 3.5 years, and 3.5 years ago I was 230 pounds and quite frankly did not have my life together and was living a very materialistic life. Through that, I had a situation that made me see that how I was living is not how I truly and soulfully felt. So I made some changes. One of the books that helped me continue to improve was Atomic Habits, 1% Better Every Day. And over the course of 365 days, if you are 1% better every day, you are significantly better off. It's like 37 times stronger every year if you can compound in the right direction. And I take that exact same principle that has helped me go from 230 pounds to 170 pounds, the same principle that helped me beat my sobriety and be able to change my life, into Amazon and into these images. And by continuing to document the systems that we do over the course of the years, and improving every single day, every single split test, every single week, we are able to make significant impacts and collect more data than the market and have a competitive advantage inside of our data moat. As we keep going through, what I have learned, a huge element of this is understanding and eliminating any doubt in the funnel, any confusion, any doubt. Also creating doubt on other products is a great way to do it too. When I'm scaling brands into Amazon, I'm scraping all the reviews in the niche. I am looking at all the search terms. I am a lot of times taking a look at all the ads that the competitors are running on and off of Amazon. I look at all their marketing materials, all the bullet points. What I do is I build a prioritization list and different models for each product. So I have a base to look at. We have why people like this product, why people don't like this product, all the marketing angles from the competitors, why they're doing it. We build marketing avatars. And from all that data, you want to create a prioritization list of all the most important and critical things, and we want to try to hit those on the main image and or the first few images. But we also want to eliminate any doubt and confusion. I typically try to throw some shade. So I will put all the best things on my product, like in an us versus them, and then in theirs, I say all the worst things. Like this is, everyone doesn't like the smell or the taste or whatever you mention. I just do it based on the data. And I find that that works really, really well. So here's some us versus them photos. You also want to show and not tell. So we want to show the benefits of the product, and you don't want to tell them about the features. So what we can do is show a waterproof watch in action while they're swimming. You don't want to tell them that it's waterproof. You want to show them. While you're doing that, you are going to, for the most part, increase your conversions and click-throughs based on our data. Obviously, every niche can be different. Some can be some feature heavy, but for the most part, they are going to be benefit heavy. You can also do emotional storytelling. So if this chair, for instance, is hurting my back, we can tell some story about a person at work and explaining how their back is hurting and how this product has alleviated that through imagery. And that typically does very well. Before and after images are amazing. People love to see before and after images, especially if you can use your product and clearly explain the difference. And we can hit those main points that we did on our data research side. And if it isn't converting, so typically what I'll do when I'm looking at the listings is I'll map out We have, your click through, we have your conversion, but we also have some other metrics that we can look at, like how many people are adding the product to the cart, and then how many people are purchasing it, but how many people are abandoning it and they're not purchasing it. So each part of these funnels has different parts that we can understand that there's something going wrong somewhere. So if people are adding it to the cart and they're not purchasing it, okay, maybe there's some sort of product proposition or some sort of thing that is causing friction there. So we want to go a little bit deeper in the funnel. But if there is people just not clicking it, okay, well then it's a main image problem. If they're clicking it and there's absolutely no conversion, maybe there's a relevancy issue. So we want to diagnose the data, and then from the data we come in and we optimize each part of the funnel that needs to be improved. So as picture dealers, we remember that each one of these photos is a sales representative. This is something that we're using in order to sell our product to other people. These are assets that we're building, and they sell thousands and thousands and thousands of people as we start buying their traffic and they come into the funnel. So spending your time and really understanding how to improve your conversion, your click-through on scale is a very important part of understanding Amazon, understanding how to become profitable and how to really scale. It's so important that you nail this, but you also need to nail every other part of the funnel. For those of you who don't know by now, my name is Hunter Harris. I'm the founder of GigaBrands, and we have scaled over 50 brands into Amazon and done over 180 million in sales. Through that, we've developed very beautiful frameworks that help us take brands at 7 figures to 8 and 9 figures. If you're a brand under 7 figures, then keep watching our content. I hope I can provide you as much value as possible. That way one day you can come work with us in the future. If you are at 7-figure brands, you can book a call in the description of this video. On that call, we could go through a 30-minute consultation where I will walk through everything from A to Z on your business. I'll take a look at your PPC, your catalog, your SEO, and your overall creative. Identify where your bottlenecks are and how we can scale you to the next level, and then walk through what an engagement will look like, provided that you are a good candidate for us to scale. From there, if not, we have a lot more actionable tips that you can use to implement into your main images. I recorded a video here and you can watch it. Look forward to either talking to you on the call or checking you out in this next video.